skill for skill, none of these guys can mess with me. Like nobody. Like I feel like my skills is way better than like Floyd. Like if I'm on my game. But skill wise, nobody on TV that's fighting right now have more skills than me. Nobody. Like talking about top to bottom list of fighters that's fighting on TV.
You're scrolling through your feed when the headline stops you cold. Gervonta Davis is back training under Floyd Mayweather. After years of icy silence, cryptic jabs in interviews, and a public fallout that left fans split down the middle, the two have been spotted back together, gloves on, bad blood off. And just like that, one of the most unexpected reunions in boxing becomes real. It wasn't always this way. You remember when Tank began to publicly distance himself from Floyd, calling him controlling, saying he wanted to be his own man. The world watched as Gervonta shed the Mayweather protege label and tried to carve his own lane. No more Mayweather Boxing Club, no more shoulder-to-shoulder pressers. He was building an empire without his former mentor. But here they are again, training, laughing, moving like the split never happened. So what changed? According to insiders, the rematch with Roach shifted everything. This isn't just another fight. This is redemption. This is Tank's chance to silence every critic who said he was slipping. And apparently, even he knew that if he was going to make a statement, he needed the old formula, the one that turned him into a knockout king in the first place. When Tank walked back into the Mayweather gym, the energy changed. It wasn't just about mitt work or drills. It was about legacy. The same hands that molded him from raw talent to PPV superstar are back on the blueprint. And for Floyd, it's not about ego anymore. He sees the opportunity to make a final stamp, to show the world that what they built still holds weight. The question is, does this reunion bring out the best in Tank, or remind him why they split in the first place? You hear the rhythmic pounding of gloves on mitts before you even see the footage. Gervonta Davis moving sharper, faster, cleaner, and standing in the background, arms folded with a trademark poker face, is none other than Floyd Mayweather himself. This isn't nostalgia, this is strategy. Roach might have thought he had the upper hand going into this rematch. After all, the first fight left Tank with a scar, a controversial draw, a bruised ego, and whispers of decline. Roach stood his ground when few expected him to. He made Tank miss. He kept his chin tucked. He even clipped him with that left hook in round 9 that sent shockwaves across boxing Twitter. But now, Roach isn't just fighting Tank Davis. He's fighting Tank Davis with Floyd in his corner again. And if you've followed Tank long enough, you know what that means. The last time these two were in sync, Tank ran through names like Leo Santa Cruz, Barrios, and Gamboa, not just winning, but dismantling them. Mayweather's presence doesn't just sharpen Tank's skill set, it re-injects discipline, game plan, and most importantly, spite. Because this time, the rematch isn't just about proving he can beat Roach. It's about proving he was never supposed to be questioned in the first place. Inside sources say Tank has doubled his road work, cut distractions cold turkey, and returned to 4 a.m. gym grinds. Not because he has to, but because Floyd demanded it. And if you've watched Floyd's career, you know he doesn't link his name with failure. Roach may have been confident when this was just Tank on his own, but this version, the Tank with vengeance in his gloves and Mayweather whispering between rounds, you never thought you'd see it again. After years of icy tension, passive-aggressive interviews, and messy public breakups, Gervonta Davis and Floyd Mayweather finally sat down behind closed doors and walked out allies once more. But how did two proud, stubborn icons who once stopped speaking altogether manage to realign? According to insiders close to both comps, it wasn't a dramatic phone call or a PR stunt. It was something simpler and more real. It started with a phone call from Leonard Ellerbay, a reminder that while egos clashed, the bond they built ran deeper than most realized. Tank may have felt abandoned after his last contract ran out. He didn't like being told how to run his camp. And Floyd? He wasn't a fan of being disrespected after years of promotion, protection, and platform building. But time has a way of revealing what pride conceals. And when both men watched the Roach fight replay separately, they saw the same thing. Tank looked beatable. Not because Roach was better, but because Tank had too many yes men, too little structure, and no one left to tell him the truth. So Floyd reached out, not as a promoter, but as a mentor. He didn't offer a contract. He offered wisdom. guidance, strategy. And when Tank walked into the gym and saw the old team waiting, Ellerbe, Nate Jones, even some of the original pad men, he didn't bark orders or flex status. He got to work. "If you really want to shut Roach up," Floyd reportedly told him, "you do it my way this time." Now the beef isn't just squashed, it's cooked, plated, and digested. And in its place, a fighter at peace with his corner, but ready for war in the ring. The question isn't whether Tank and Floyd are back on good terms. It's whether Roach can survive what that reunion just unleashed. You hear the mitts snapping again, but this time they sound different. Sharper, quicker, like there's a rhythm behind the chaos. That's because Tank isn't just training hard, he's training smart. And that shift, it's got Floyd's fingerprints all over it. Since reuniting, Tank's camp has undergone a quiet transformation. Gone are the scattered sessions and over-reliance on knockout drills. In their place, the classic Mayweather structure, tight footwork, layered defense, and surgical counters. Observers say it's like watching pretty boy Floyd download into Tank's body. Early mornings, minimal distractions, long shadow boxing rounds focused on form and reaction time, not just aggression. The pad work, less power, more placement. Floyd's team knows what most casual fans forget. Roach can take a punch, but can he take precision? Behind closed doors, Mayweather's advice has been blunt. You don't need to break him, just make him miss, and then make him pay. That's the same logic that made Floyd untouchable. And now, it's being rebuilt inside a fighter who once preferred war over chess. Even the sparring partners have changed. Instead of crowd-pleasing brawlers, Tank's been paired with slick movers, southpaws with counter ability. One coach even admitted, "We're not preparing for Roach, we're preparing for who comes after." But beneath that strategic upgrade is something even more dangerous. Focus, the kind Tank hasn't shown in years. Not since the early days when he had something to prove and Mayweather breathing down his neck. Only this time, it's different. This time, Tank's inviting the pressure. He's not running from Floyd's shadow, he's stepping into it, using it to sharpen every round, every jab, every angle. Roach may be walking into a familiar ring, but the man waiting for him inside? He's not the same fighter Roach faced the first time. He's something colder, smarter, and far more dangerous. You can almost hear Lamont Roach Jr. scoffing when reporters ask about the Mayweather-Davis reunion. He doesn't blink, doesn't flinch. He just shrugs and fires back. "That's not going to save him," Roach says, voice calm but cutting. "He can bring Floyd, Rogers' ghost, and the whole TMT roster. He's still got to fight me." Roach doesn't see the reunion as a power move. He sees it as a red flag. To him, it screams desperation, the kind of thing a fighter does when he's doubting himself, when the aura starts to crack. And if anyone knows what those cracks look like, it's Roach. He felt it in the first fight, the frustration building in Tank when his usual knockout game plan didn't work. He saw the hesitation in his eyes, the labored breathing by round 8, the switch from dominance to survival. "You think Mayweather's gonna walk him through this one too?" Roach laughs. "This ain't the gym. This is real. I don't care who's in his corner. I'm still gonna be in his face for 12 rounds." Roach's team is echoing the same energy. They've been studying Tank's changes, the crisper pad work, the controlled sparring, the new discipline, but they aren't impressed. One trainer put it like this: Mayweather can polish a diamond, but he can't fix a crack in the middle. That's how Roach sees it. This new and improved Tank, it's just a smokescreen, a version sculpted for the cameras. But Roach knows the real Davis, the one who gets reckless under pressure, the one who lunges, the one who can be timed. And now that the rematch is set, Roach isn't just preparing to outbox him, he's preparing to expose him. Because if Tank thinks Mayweather's blueprint is enough to save him, Roach plans to burn the entire blueprint down. Gervonta Davis isn't just hitting mitts, he's hitting them like his career depends on it. Inside his private gym, the walls echo with the sound of leather slamming into pads. His punches are faster, sharper, more deliberate. There's no showboating, no grinning at the cameras. Just a man who's been humbled and is now possessed. People close to Tank say this is the most dialed in they've seen him in years. Ever since that first Roach fight, something's shifted. That old invincible swagger, replaced by icy focus. That party-fueled lifestyle, paused. Even his diet's changed. Raw greens, protein-packed meals, no alcohol. His camp is calling it the Floyd effect. It's like Davis took a look in the mirror and realized, The rematch isn't just another fight, it's a referendum on his legacy. He's training like a man chasing more than revenge. He's chasing his name back. And Mayweather? He's not just watching, he's engineering. Sources say Floyd has put together a strict camp structure, earlier start times, mandatory conditioning sessions, film breakdowns at night. They're treating this like it's Tank's title defense and redemption arc wrapped into one, but there's still a lingering question. Is this transformation authentic or temporary? Because while Roach trains with a chip on his shoulder, Davis is battling something more complicated. Public doubt, personal demons, and now the pressure of being Mayweather 2.0. And when you strip away the cameras, the sponsorships, the noise, will this new version of Tank survive under fire? That's what the rematch will reveal. Because one clean shot from Roach, and all the discipline in the world, won't stop the lights from going out. The closer we get to fight night, the louder the whispers grow. Not just about the rematch, not just about the training, but about what this really means for Gervonta Davis. Because when the bell rings, it's more than a title on the line. It's his legacy, maybe even his future in the sport. You hear it in the interviews, in the press conferences, even in the energy around him. This isn't just another headline bout. This is a make-or-break moment. If he wins, especially with Mayweather in his corner again, Davis rewrites the narrative. The talk of distractions, of personal chaos, of being past his prime, all of it evaporates. He becomes not just the comeback kid, but the heir to the throne Floyd built. He goes from flashy finisher to seasoned, strategic champion. But if he loses, especially to Roach, again, that invincibility he built across his career might never return, because then it won't be Tank is slipping. It'll be Tank slipped and couldn't get back up. And that's what makes this fight so dangerous. Not the punches, not the footwork, but the stakes. Because on paper, it's just another rematch. But in truth, it's the most important fight of Gervonta Davis's life. Not just to win, but to prove to the world and to himself that he's still him, still a killer, still a king, still a legacy worth writing about. And as the lights come up and the crowd roars, one question will hang over the ring like smoke. Did Gervonta Davis rebuild himself into something greater? Or is this the final chapter in a career that never lived up to the myth?